Sean Morris, and I'm standing in front of a 1990 NISMO version of a Nissan Skyline GTR R32. Well, this car is one of the first ones imported underneath shore display exemption. It is a chassis number 500. They made 560 cars, and it's a good round number. The NISMO version basically was built as a basis of the race cars, homologation special. It has intercooler ducts in the front bumper, has extra radiator deflector, it has extra side skirt pieces, has the rear trunk lip, has no ABS, has all metal turbos. So it was the basis, like all the Group A cars, the stuff that Nissan raced, a lot of the Group N cars, and that were all based off of this chassis. They're based off of these NISMOs, and they all were gunmetal. Well, the NISMO version is pretty rare. I don't think we're going to see a lot of them. Only 560 cars made in 1990. We've got cars in Australia, there's cars in the UK, there's cars in Japan, but limited numbers. I don't think we're ever going to see that many. They still get pretty good money for them in Japan. But what this does kind of lead us towards is the 25-year-old cars, which are in 2014, 1989 R32s will be 25 years old. And so then they're basically okay to import. We still got, they're over 21 years, so they're EPA exempt. If you're in California, you still need to have smog if it's newer than 1975. Shore display allows you to import historically or technologically significant vehicles to the U.S. without meeting NHTSA standards. So it's basically a little bit of a loophole or a way around the law, but it's a law that they made. They call it Bill Gates' law because it was so he could import his 959 here to the States, a specialized version of the 911. And you're still not exempt from EPA requirements. You can drive a vehicle up to 2,500 miles a year. And it has to be, like I said, generally speaking, under 500 made. I'm, happy to help people import cars for themselves. If they can find something in Japan and, illustrate the process on my website, Shore Display. I kind of go through what paperwork people need to fill out, how they can do it themselves. It's slightly more complicated for the Shore Display application. I've had some people ask me about, what about, 400Rs, what about Z-Tunes and things like that? Well, the main thing is over 21 years old, so you're EPA exempt. If you still need to meet EPA requirements on something like a 400R or Z-Tune, it becomes a very expensive, expensive process.